Protective headgear has been scientifically proven to reduce concussions by 0%. 2014 ACC stats show 15 to 19-year-olds are by far the most at risk of concussions, more than 20 to 24 and 25 to 29. The first mouthguards worn by boxers were made of tape, sponge and wood. Since they were made compulsory in 1997, dentist income from rugby players has halved. Open sides average 15 tackles per game. Fullbacks clock 4. The average player tackles with 725 kgs of force. Rugby has the highest number of shoulder injuries per player hour of any sport. In total injuries, the knee wins. ACC stats show that the knee is the most vulnerable part of the body, far more than the chest. Rugby players' hearts tick at an average 172 beats per minute during a game. Professional players have a resting heart rate of between 40 to 60 beats per minute. Cyclist Miguel Indurain was 28. The heart pumps the blood to the extremities, and these feet will take about 10,000 steps in a game. A marathon runner will take about 45,000. The average time a ball is in play is 38 minutes. NFL games average 11 minutes in a 3-hour contest. The average professional team uses over 50 metres of strapping tape every game. Club players will spend more time strapping than warming up. A lot of thigh strains happen when players kick and chase. If that happens, think Rice. Rugby is a game for all shapes and sizes. The lightest All Black was halfback Merv Corner at 58 kgs. Prop Namia Tialata tipped 136. At 326, sumo wrestler Manny Yabra is the world's heaviest athlete. The average rugby referee weighs less than a coach. That is not a scientific fact. All referees and coaches must attend Rugbysmart every year. That is a fact.
Tonight on Rugbysmart, we look into the serious issues surrounding our game. Is it safe? Are we doing the right things? And can we do things better? And are our coaches serious about taking responsibility for their players? We'll be putting the spotlight on problem areas like tackling and scrums, looking at how to avoid injury by using good technique. We'll be talking about concussions, and it seems everybody is these days. Public awareness is a good thing, but more importantly is recognising and treating it on the field. But even before the match kicks off, there's work to do. The game doesn't start with a whistle, it starts with a warm-up. And that's where we'll start as well. Before we begin, you need to form teams of your own to work together to understand the right answers to these serious questions. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll start with the warm-up. Back after the break. Warming up. Most of us do it before games, some of us do it before training, and some don't bother at all. The one thing we do have in common is we're all at more risk of injury if we don't warm up. Warming up isn't simply a nuisance to get out of the way before the fun stuff. Teams need to allow at least 20 minutes before every contact session, and it's the coach's job to make their players understand the benefits, including increased muscle, body, and blood temperature. The Rugby Warm-Ups program is designed to reduce injuries among male and female players. The program was developed by an international group of experts, and its effectiveness has been scientifically proven. Teams that perform the warm-ups at least twice a week had 30 to 50% fewer injured players. The program should be your standard training warm-up, and it takes around 20 minutes to complete. It's also a great pre-game warm-up. The warm-up should be supervised for good technique and players corrected if necessary. But once the players are familiar with the exercises, they should get into the habit of doing them before any contact session. These warm-ups are available on the Rugbysmart website and app. And don't forget to check out the charts and cards to help you implement the program. Take a look at these examples and then split into your groups to see how you could use a board in one of these activities.
Running, circling partner. This is a great exercise to work your abductors while warming up your legs. Here's how it's done.
Run forwards as a pair to the first set of cones. Shuffle sideways at a 90-degree angle towards your partner. Shuffle an entire circle around one another, but don't change the direction you're looking. Then back to the first cone. Concentrate on bending your hips and knees slightly and carry your body weight on the balls of your feet. Don't let your knees buckle inwards. Jog to the next cone and repeat the exercise, and when you finish the course, jog back and do it one more time.
Single leg stance. Test your partner. This exercise improves leg muscle coordination and balance. Grab a partner and do it like this.
Start by standing at arm's length from your partner, with each of you standing on one leg. Bend your knee and hip a little so your upper body leans slightly forwards. When viewed from the front, your hip, knee and foot of your supporting leg are in a straight line. Hold your non-supporting raised leg slightly behind your supporting leg. Keep your balance while you and your partner try to push the other off balance in different directions. Keep returning to the starting position. Continue for 30 seconds, then change legs and repeat. Keep your upper body stable and facing forwards, and your pelvis horizontal. Do not let your knee buckle inwards or let your pelvis tilt to the side. Do 2 sets of 30 seconds on each leg.
Welcome back, and hopefully you all have a warm-up blueprint to implement before your next training or game. The whole program and a lot more coaching resources are available at coachingtoolbox.co.nz. It's easy to see why tackling is the #1 cause of injuries in rugby. No tackle is ever the same, but if your players are well coached and have good technique, then the outcome should be the same: a safe and effective tackle. About 250 tackles are made in an average game. That's 250 chances of injury in 80 minutes. But if players have good technique, then the odds of injury are significantly reduced. So what makes a good coach? Winning games? Winning games is good, but that's the result of being well coached. One must come before the other. Here are 3 examples of poor tackles. Following the video, in your groups, make a list of what went wrong in these examples, and then show how you would coach the tackle. Welcome back, and hopefully you all came up with a great plan to coach your players to tackle correctly. As coaches, this is your job. How many of these points did you have?
Eyes should always be on the core, whether tackling up around the ball or around the legs. Remember to keep moving forward into contact. I like to position myself slightly inside the ball carrier, so I'm always on his inside shoulder. I should always keep my face up, keep my feet alive, and position my leading foot close to the ball carrier. I need to drive with my legs, making firm contact with my shoulder, and make sure I keep my head to the side and keep driving. Then I punch my arms forward and wrap tightly around the ball carrier. And I should continue to power drive through to complete the tackle and end up on top of the ball carrier. Finally, I must release and get to my feet as fast as possible before I can compete for the ball.
Another area of real concern is the cleanout, and a typical game has over 150 rucks. Teams want to physically dominate in this area to secure and recycle good quality ball. In reality, what can happen is bodies fly into the ruck with little regard for their own safety and that of the opposition. How many times have you seen your own player come off second best? The good news is there's a solution to the problem. Coach this area well. So how do you coach the cleanout? Have someone in your group coach you through a cleanout, then collectively come up with 3 safe and effective techniques. Welcome back, and hopefully that exercise has made you think about everything that can go right or wrong in a cleanout. A lot of elements have to come together for a safe and successful scrum. The average senior pack weighs more than 800 kgs, with enough thrust power to push a 1-ton truck sideways. So if one front rower has bad technique, it's a recipe for disaster. Ask yourself this: how do I coach a front row? The answer is in your group. See you after the break. The front row is a mystery to most people, but coaches need to know how everything goes down, because if they don't, the scrum will, and collapsing scrums can be bad news. Here are some of the key points your groups needed to have.
The front rows must be standing not more than an arm's length apart. They must crouch so that when they meet, each player's head and shoulders are to be no lower than the hips. The front rows must interlock so that no player's head is next to the head of a teammate. The referee will call crouch, then bind. The front rows crouch, and using their outside arm, each prop must bind. A loose head prop must bind on the opposing tight head prop by placing the left arm inside the right arm of the tight head and gripping the tight head prop's jersey on the back or side. A tight head prop must bind on the opposing loose head prop by placing the right arm outside the left upper arm of the opposing loose head prop and gripping the loose head prop's jersey with the right hand only on the back or side. The props must not grip the opponent's chest, arm, sleeve or collar. Following a pause, the referee will then call set when the front rows are ready. The front rows may then engage.
And while we're on the subject of set plays, if a player is in the air at a line-out, restart or catching a high ball, your players need to know he or she cannot be touched until the ball carrier's feet are on the ground. Players are vulnerable to serious injury if they are interfered with in the air. Support players lifting the catcher also need to be well coached in this area. It seems that every week a fresh study or new statistics are released showing concussions are growing at an alarming rate. Like many other contact and recreational sports, rugby has its fair share of physical encounters, and sometimes the head is in the wrong place at the wrong time.
That looked pretty high, ref. He's up cold, coach.
That's the red card, ref.
Is he alright?
I don't know, but it doesn't look good.
What do we do?
Well, someone do something.
Maybe call an ambulance?
A player is out cold, and no one seems to be taking responsibility. And what happens next could have tragic consequences. In your groups, come up with your answers to what happens next. When we come back, we'll see if our player is in good hands.
Yeah, okay. I got a pulse, so we don't need to move it. Jess, can you call an ambulance?
Yeah.
Tim, can you hear me, mate? You alright, mate? Can you hear me?
What happened?
I took a massive head knock, mate. But we'll get you sorted. Just lie here for now. The ambulance is on its way.
Yeah, don't feel too good.
Will you let me know if you feel a peaky? Okay?
Ambulance, please.
What do you think?
Well, I'm not prepared to move it. Not until the ambos get here, so...
Yeah, mate, that's fair enough. Hey, look, there's only a couple of minutes going full time. I'll tell the teams. We'll call it, mate.
Yeah, alright, cheers.
It was obvious the player had suffered a concussion, but players don't need to be knocked out to be concussed. What if it wasn't so obvious, and the player says he or she is okay? It doesn't take long to go through the sideline concussion checklist. Always lean on the side of caution, and take the responsibility off the player. Remember, the referee has the final decision on whether a player stays on the field, and everyone needs to respect that decision.
That looked pretty high, Ref. I think he's hurt.
I better go check him out. Tim, you alright, mate? There's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm alright. Just give me a minute. Let's get some water here, Tim. Let's get him. Is he alright, mate? What do you want to do?
Mate, you took a massive hit. You don't look a handy. Mike, you're on, mate. Come on.
Well, let's go, boys.
Tim, I'm going to ask you a few questions, okay?
Are you okay? You don't look okay.
I'm all good.
Tim, I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Yeah,
What half are we in?
second.
Who are we playing?
Maris? Yeah, Maris.
Did we win last week?
Yep. Oh, bro, you're gone. We got Sass last week.
Yeah, you're not going back out there.
What? Come on, bro. I would have scored a try if it wasn't for that hit
The
home.
medical centre straight away. Here's a concussion checklist just to help you with some of the symptoms.
Okay, thanks, coach.
No worries.
You come with me. I'll sort your head.
Bro, speed. How'd it feel to get smoked by a prop last week? I started to.
Don't worry, bro. You're back. I introduced him to these bad boys right here.
Whoa. That prop was pretty fast for a big guy. Has anyone seen some?
Yeah, I spoke to him on Sunday. He's all good. Just trying to suss out that headache.
I'm surprised. That dude got him good.
Sup? What are you doing here?
Training? is a typical player who just wants to get back into the action. In your groups, collectively decide what should happen next.
I thought I'd just come in and take it easy.
Bro, you got smashed on the weekend. Isn't that an automatic 21-day standout?
It is, but I know my body better than any doctor.
We want you to play, but you were knocked out. It's kind of a big deal.
So what?
Bro, you're not training. Go home.
Oh, yeah. So you're a doctor too now, are you?
We're not joking, mate. We'll see you in 3 weeks.
What if I just run the water?
You know what, bro? Seeing as you need to rest up a bit. There's your seat. Enjoy the show, eh?
No, don't get mad. You got burned on Saturday by a prop, bro.
Maybe you should go, bro.
Once a player has been concussed, there is no discretion. The graduated return to play protocol is not a guideline. The earliest the player can return to play is 21 days post-injury and 23 days for under 19 players. Both need clearance from a medical doctor. The 4 R's of the GRTP are recognise, remove, recover and return. For more on concussion, go to Coaching Toolbox or rugbysmart.co.nz. Reporting injuries is an important part of the coach's job. It helps New Zealand Rugby know where improvement is needed and where to allocate resources to help keep the players injury-free in the future. You'll see it on the weekends all around the country. Players leaving the field with varying degrees of injuries. The game must go on, but the immediate sideline treatment these players receive could make a big difference in the recovery timeline. In this video, the player has an ankle injury. In your group, demonstrate how this player should be treated. Then we will show you the correct course of action.
Hey, Joey. Put you down here, rest up. Rick, give me your ticket. Quick. Yeah, take these. We'll bandage them up after the game, okay? Steve, give me those hip shoes, please. Keep it elevated at home as well. Alright? If the pain and swelling gets any worse, mate, get yourself to a doctor and get it checked out, okay? Alright. Can check on you after the game, mate.
Once an injury has been diagnosed and treated, players need to avoid harmful factors for up to 72 hours. HARM stands for heat, alcohol, running, and massage. We hope you learned a lot, but we hope you already knew most of this because many of you have attended a few Rugbysmart courses. Remember, you have a huge online resource at coachingtoolbox.co.nz. So get in and take a look around. Have a great year, and remember, what you do keeps your players safe.